Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining in. I'm pretty sure that many of you are continuing the session on GTM Engineering, which we started in part 1 last week, and we are continuing in today's session as part 2. Since we have so many questions, it seems like the questions about GTM Engineering is just unending. So we have decided to create a series. So we'll be coming up with more content on GTM Engineering Q&A. So let's get started. We'll cover some important questions today. If you have more questions, please write down in the comment section if you have any specific question. Please do subscribe to our channel if you have not subscribed yet, and follow us on LinkedIn and Twitter and other channels, because we keep on creating content for GTM Engineering, B2B sales, and ABM. So if you are interested in these subjects, you are at the right place. Okay. What is GTM Engineering Part 2 and how data signal automation drive modern B2B growth? Okay, all right, let's go to the questions. How does GTM Engineering improve performance ad? Okay, that's super good question, and in many ways, this is becoming a holy grail in terms of the engineering, GTM engineering, and performance ads now mixing together, it's integrating together. So we are now entering into an era where we can very effectively, efficiently, thanks to AI and automation, we can now engineer the integration between GTM engineering stack and performance ads stack. Okay. So I think we are very close there. A lot of companies are already implementing. We are implementing these systems for a lot of companies. So these are exciting times, okay? And GTM engineering does improve performance ads. Many of you might be thinking GTM engineering is all about cold outreach and, AI agents and automations and workflows. That is what many of you might be thinking. But GTM engineering is, at the core, overhauling how we are, looking at performance ad. Okay, how we are looking at data and analytics. Everything is being affected positively by GTM engineering. Okay, so what it does, basically, if you use GTM engineering in principle effectively, it can close a gap between ads, your data, your CRM, and your revenue. Okay, so CRM stands for data. It stands for data warehouses, stands for CDP. So CRM here in context stands for data. Right. So finally, we are coming in an age where we can integrate the performance ads from different channels like Google ads and LinkedIn ads and Twitter ads and like so on. Integrate the data, okay, back into the data warehouses, the CRM, the CDPs, okay, and to the revenue channel, the sales pipeline, and then we create a loop. It closes the gap. Okay. How does it work? How can GTM engineering improve performance ads? In many ways. The first very obviously used use case is CRM match audience. So if you have a bunch of data in your CRM, your prospects, your leads, your deals, all are lying in your CRM, right? And they are your best data in the sense that they are your either future customers or past customer or somewhere in between. Right. And if you want to do a customer marketing, you can just go ahead and upload the CRM data into, say, LinkedIn ads. And then within LinkedIn, you can create a customer match audience. Okay. Earlier, we used to do all of this manually, but now you can just automate it, and it can continuously update it also. And it can also update the behavioral data. For example, if the person is visiting your pricing page, or if the person is signing up in your app. So that information can also be fed back into the audience. And then based on those information, you can create segments and then run ads. For example, you have a customer match audiences. From within that, you create multiple different audiences in terms of segment. One segment will be all the cold clients, right? Clients, your past clients. So you can run an ad campaign in LinkedIn, in terms of customer reactivation. You can do that. The other segment can be, all the leads who have come in last 6 months, right? Okay. you can run ads for that. Then all the deals which are in a pipeline, you can run ads for that. Okay, all the leads who also visited your website, correct, recently, last 3 months, okay, or all the customers who are now visiting back your website, you can run ads. So the use cases are many when it comes to customer match audiences. And earlier we used to do a lot of stuff manually, but you can now, thanks to AI and automation, you can go ahead and automate it, the entire sequences, and a lot of stuff can be done by AI. Okay, then the other use case is similar companies API. That means you take your data in your customer, in your CRM, and then find similar companies. Nowadays there are a lot of APIs which provides that particular information. So you can just find similar companies. So it is very similar to what a lookalike audience is in terms of LinkedIn ads or Facebook Meta ads, but it is much better. Okay, because it's more contextual, right? These API provides more contextual information, and you don't depend on these large, these platforms to do decisions for you. In this case, if you are doing account-based marketing, and if you have a certain type of account lying in your CRM, you can take those information of those accounts and then find similar accounts in the market, in the geography, and then only do customer match ads for those particular accounts. So it is much more controlled, as compared to, say, a lookalike audiences. Then obviously we have the traditional retargeting, can also be done based on behavioral data. Okay, so the retargeting now can be done very easily using behavioral data. For example, if somebody is signing up for your free plan, but they are not upgrading to a paid plan, that information is lying somewhere in your warehouse and your CDPs. That information can be fed back, and you can create workflows, automate the workflows, take decisions, quick decisions, right? You don't have to involve human beings a lot. Now we can create dynamic workflows to take the decisions and then run a specific ad. For example, somebody who signed up for your free plan, they might go ahead and upgrade for a paid plan. So, but they're using your app. So since based on the usage, you can just, give them some sort of a discount for them to upgrade to the paid plan, right? And then we have come up with a term called bridge ads, which basically which is the bridge between performance ads and data, CRM, CDP. Okay, so we have come up with this concept in Insightstap, and we have talked about it, and we are going to talk more about the bridge ads as a concept. It's going to be super effective in terms of ABM, right? So that is how, some of the ways by which GTM engineering can improve performance ads. We are already implementing these use cases for our customers. Trust me, this is an exciting time to live in, and we are learning every single day. Okay, so this is how it looks like. Ads to CRM to pipeline, and you create a bridge ads. Okay, we have created separate sessions in terms of bridge ads. So I think if you have not checked out, please go ahead and check out bridge ads content that we have created, and we have talked in detail on how this works. What tools make up a GTM engine? Okay, now that's an interesting question, but there are no right or wrong answer. Okay, you need to create a stack. It's very similar to how you create a mobile app stack, right? If you want to create a mobile app, you have to, you have to pick a database, you have to pick up a server, you have to pick up hosting, you have to pick up, the front end, the back end, the design languages and the backend native languages and like so on. So you have to pick and choose. So there's no right and wrong answer, right? Based on your use case, you need to pick and choose. Some of the tools are more prominent than others. For example, most of the companies in ABM side, B2B sales side, they're using HubSpot and Salesforce. So that will remain. Companies like Clay and Anytime, they are rising up, but then there are other companies also who are providing similar services, if not exactly the same. So it's up to you to pick and choose. There is always the more popular tools and more usable tools and like so on that is there, but I'm purely talking from the B2B sales point of view. So these are some standard stuff that will always be there. The CRM side of it, HubSpot and Salesforce. CDP side of it, if you're using CDP, segment segment, and factors is more on the web visitor identification. Ad side of it, LinkedIn and Google is primarily used when it comes to ABM, and outreach side of it, we generally use Smart Lead, Apollo, Reply, and others, but you can use whichever tool you feel is good enough, right? So GPT-4, Claude, Gemini for AI models. I am not going to make this session about which model and which tool and which tech stack is the right one, but the idea is that the options are plenty. Every single day there are new tools coming up. The idea is for you to come up with the best tech stack that can work for you. Okay, but just one important thought here. You have to build everything around a core system. So if your core system is Salesforce, build everything around Salesforce. If your core system is, say, HubSpot, build everything around HubSpot. I think that's a better way of building rather than, don't, if a consultant is saying, hey, you know what, I'm going to build an entire application separately, and you can just use HubSpot for a CRM, then possibly that is not the right advice. I think you have to always pick up a platform and then build everything around it. I think that's a better approach rather than, just let go of the existing systems and process and then, try to create everything from the scratch. I think there'll be a lot more work and it'll create a lot more problems, when you try to build it. Okay, so this is what typically a stack looks like. There is a CRM, CDP. Sorry, it's not CPD, it's CDP. Then there is the ad layer, then there is an outreach layer, and then there is the AI and the agentic solution workflow layer, right? So there are different layers that needs to be done, and the whole GTM engine system will work as unified GTM layer, right? So easier said than done, but you got to start. If you're not going to start right now, possibly you're going to, you'll have to start tomorrow. So better you start today. All right. So where does GTM engineering sit in the B2B org? That's an interesting question. Okay. Technically, it can sit in any layer. It can sit in the marketing layer. It can sit in the sales layer. It can sit in the ops layer. It can sit in the data layer. And I think a large organization will need multiple GTM engineers working together with the revenue team, with the product marketing team, with the data analytics team. And then, there needs to be a GTM strategist sitting on top of it. So I think we are very close to the days where, we will have new function come up, just like VP marketing, CMO, okay, director of marketing, director of sales, director of revenue. We will have, a VP GTM engineering and director of GTM engineering and like so on. So it can be at every different layer. It can be a different layer. And I think in all the layers, GTM engineering will be used, right? It can sit anywhere, okay? It can sit in marketing team. It can sit in sales team. It can sit in ops team. It can sit in data team separately. And then, there can be GTM engineering team, which can sit on top of all of it. That is how I see things moving going forward. If you are going to implement GTM engineering, then pick up a department, start small, say start from marketing or start from sales, and then, keep expanding onto other departments as well. If you want to, because, doing a complete GTM engineering revamp for the entire organization is a huge project, and you can do that. But I don't think so that will be the right approach for many of the companies. For most of the companies, I sincerely feel the best approach is to start somewhere and slowly expand into other areas as well, right? I sincerely feel there will be a revamp in terms of how the teams are going to operate. There will be GTM engineering team working with every team, marketing, sales, ops, and data. And I think there will be separate functions that will now operate within the organization. For example, there are functions of marketing like CMO, VP marketing, and director of marketing, and like so on. Now there will be the GTM engineering lead and director of GTM engineering, and like so on. So I think there is a major shift that is happening in the way we are looking at things, and GTM engineering is going to be one of the core function within every department, right? Where, the companies will look to implement the AI and automation in every single department in the right way, right? So I think most of these projects are going to be long-term projects, and it's going to change the way the companies are going to operate, right? So where does GTM engineering sit in the B2B org? Everywhere. Right? But it's best to start somewhere. It's best to start from a function like marketing and sales. And the first layer that we need to look into is the data layer, right? If the data layer is messed up, that is what you need to fix first. Okay. Most of the companies are making a mistake of not looking into the data, and they are just trying to build, something on top of it. No, you got to streamline your data. If your data is hiding on your spreadsheets and Excels, if they are offline data in terms of files, the data is scattered across different systems, different departments. It is very important to streamline it. So I think the data engineering and data pipeline is the first project every large organization should look into before they move into, implementing GTM engineering as the whole into departments. All right. Okay, let's move on to the next question. So when you are talking about where does GTM engineering sit in the B2B org, this is how it's going to sit. It's going to be sitting in between the CEO and the CRO, the chief revenue officer, and the C-suite team. And okay, for me, what I really work on is GTM engineering for marketing and sales. But I think there will be GTM engineering for revenues, the GTM engineering for ops, there will be GTM engineering for many different functions. But we build an Insightstap, we build GTM engineering systems for marketing and sales. So that is where we fit in. But the possibilities are humongous. What is the role of AI in GTM engineering? I mean, the AI is the entire reason behind the term GTM engineering here in many ways. AI has now opened up possibilities which was not there like 5 years back. So 5 years back, when we were doing outreach, we were doing manual segmentation. We were, creating the email content personalization manually for each segment. There were a lot of work that was being done. We were scraping manually, we were updating manually, we were enriching manually, we were outreaching manually. There was a lot of work, right? And there used to be large teams just sitting and, in terms of AI, in terms of SDR and BDM, and the pre-sales team, they used to just work on this function. A lot of stuff now can be automated thanks to AI. AI can take decision making. You don't have to. You can train AI, and AI can learn with each cycle and train itself. And over the time, it performs better than most of the human teams that's going to do. But having said that, I still feel that there is a human oversee that is required. Okay, because you cannot just switch it on and then just leave it. I don't think so that's possible, at least for now. So I think there's still a window of complete human intervention at this stage. Okay, having said that, it's much more efficient. In terms of scoring and all, we used to do manual scoring, right? If somebody comes from certain background, if they are a CEO at 10 point, if they are end user at 5 point, if they are coming from this country at 10 points, if they are coming from that country at 2 points. We used to do all of that manually, in HubSpot and Salesforce and other places. We don't have to do that. We can just, tell AI to learn and take the decisions, right? AI will take very quick decisions. And so the scoring is now automated. The ads are now automated. Okay. The workflow automation is also now automated. Personalization can also be automated. So AI is playing a role in all the layers of GTM engineering. So it's everywhere. Okay, so AI is helping with signals, messaging, revenue, and everything in between. How does GTM engineering makes marketing measurable? Okay, that's good in terms of data and analytics. I think GTM engineering and automation can play a very important role. For example, if an ad is creating a lead, and lead is creating an opportunity is creating revenue. Okay, so here I can, the GTM engineering as a whole can create a feedback loop around that. It can do that. Imagine the amount of work, 5 years back, the whole system used to go through, there used to be an ad team, there used to be a marketing team taking care of lead, there used to be sales team taking care of opportunity, there used to be revenue team, and this whole systems was siloed, and it was a lot of work continuously to create reports and to see what's really working and what not. But now with GTM engineering, thanks, we can create these reports very quickly, right? We can build these systems very quickly. We can build this workflow. We need to do the integration, create the data pipeline, all of that. There's a lot of work that needs to be done yet. But the point is, it's much faster than 5 years back. If 5 years back, with the system that we had, it used to take years to create this kind of system. Now you can create it in weeks and months. Okay. So add, lead, opportunity, customer, closed loop measurement. Okay, it makes things much more measurable now than what was 5 years back. Okay, what does GTM engineering do daily? Yeah, that's a good question, actually. Nobody seems to have a clear answer for that, right? Are they only supposed to send outreach email with personalization? Are they supposed to just create AI agents? Are they supposed to just create workflows? I think they are supposed to do a lot of it. Before you start hiring GTM engineers, it's very important to hire GTM strategists, right? It's just like, you hire a CTO and then you hire developers, right? A lot of companies, they are not understanding this difference, right? That you need, when you're building a product, you need the CTO, the data architecture guy, right? The database guy, right? The project manager guys, correct? You need the backend developers, you need the front end developers, and like so on. So there are different teams, and you need to have a complete structure, right? A lot of companies down, they are mistaking clay experts as GTM engineers. No, clay experts are not GTM engineers. I mean, they are in many ways. They are engineers, but they may not be a strategist, right? They not have an understanding of an architecture, right? They may not understand your functions, like in terms of revenue ops or marketing ops. They may not have. They may be expert in it, right? It's just like hiring a JavaScript developer, right? So that person may be an expert in JavaScript, but you cannot expect JavaScript developer to completely create a world-class app for you, right? You need a team, you need a leadership and you need strategist to take care of a lot of stuff, right? Apart from just programming. And that is what GTM engineering is also all about. It's an evolving function. But GTM engineer, when we say, I'm just purely talking from the engineering point of view, it automates the GTM workflows, integrates the CRM and ads. As you can see, when you say integrate ads and CRM, maybe you need developers to do that, right? Build dynamic audiences. Now, this is where you might need a performance ads guy, manage AI agents, right? This is where you need some more developers, optimize pipelines. Maybe you need a revenue ops team. So I sincerely believe that it is not one person's job. GTM engineers are people who are going to work with different teams. And on top of GTM engineers, I sincerely feel that every company needs GTM strategists, okay? And that strategy team should have the CMOs, the marketing ops, the sales ops, the revenue ops team leaders as well, right? So it's not a one-person game. And just because you hire a clay expert, I'm afraid that that's not going to solve the problem that most of you are going to solve, looking to solve. All right, this is what is supposed to do, what GTM engineering is supposed to do. Integrate, automate, activate, optimize. Easier said than done. Every different layer here has different teams, and all the team needs to work together. If you're hiring a clay expert and then expecting that person to do all of it, then my friend, you might be mistaken on this. How can companies implement GTM engineering? Okay, all right. The first thing is start with a blueprint, right? Start with an architecture, start with a strategy. What do you want to achieve? For example, if you want to work on a marketing function, then map your funnel, right? What's really going on, right? Add signals, right? Where are the signals? What signal you need to catch, right? For example, for me, for a certain company, if somebody comes onto the website and checks out the pricing page, it's a very important signal. So add that signal. If somebody has become a deal, then that's a very important signal. Then add that signal. So, if somebody is coming from a certain geography, then that's a very important signal. Add that signal. So you need to add the signal, then you need to connect the system, right? Integration is very important. Try to see what you can automate, right? This is where you can build the AI agents and the workflows and other stuff, and then see how you can scale, right? So one loop is closed, then you can see how you can quickly create more loops like this and scale as fast as possible, okay? I think, we had a good time. This is what a company needs to do: map in terms of signal, sync, automate, and scale. And when I start the map, I'll first go to the data, as I said, right? Data is where I will go first, and then I will go to the signal, then integration, then automation, then scale. This is the principle by which we follow when we implement GTM engineering principles for our customers. Obviously, there are different thought processes going on in the market. Please write down in the comment section if you agree or disagree on that, right? I think we are also learning, this is a very new function, and we as a team also are learning every single day. So this is the GTM engineering equation: signal, system, and speed, right? If the speed is not increasing, if the systems are not integrated, if you're not getting the signals right at the right time in real time, then possibly you're not in the right path, right? So signal, look at the signal, look at the system, and look at the speed, and then see whether it's affecting your revenue, right? Our slogan is that you can run your B2B like an e-commerce store, and that's what we do for our customer. I hope that you liked the session. Okay, we are going to create more content on this. Okay, maybe we'll come up with a part 3 soon. So keep keep subscribed to our channel. Keep looking for our content. If you want to consult us, book a free consultation, download our GTM blueprints, and I will be very happy to be in touch with you. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the next one.